YouTube, once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Talking Auburn football. This is a CarCast. We want to talk about some stuff as it relates to how Auburn can be successful in 2022. Now, I think a lot of our ideology is a little outdated, and we're going to talk about this in the video. I want to thank all the new members. I want to also thank all the new subscribers. Also want to welcome Zach, who had some opinions in the last video, to the channel, and I greatly appreciate it because every now and then, things can be misconstrued. You may think that this, although is a Auburn channel, that a lot of the ideologies may be anti, but is that absolutely not. It's just telling the truth based on the way I see it. Now let's talk about this running back position. Let's even talk about the running back position in the NFL. Not a lot of, they do well, but it's not like back in the days of Walter Payton and Barry Sanders and guys like those, to where that position is just such an elite position to where you're guaranteed a spot in the upper first round of players. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he snuck into the first round from out of LSU back in the 2020 draft. But really, the running back position is a very short-lived position. Carnell Williams, one of the best running backs in Auburn history, didn't have a long career in Auburn in the NFL. Ronnie Brown also, he had a longer career, but it wasn't. He played more of an auxiliary role. So we got to think about it. Is the running back position going to take Auburn to the level that they want to go? You remember Zeus from Georgia? He wasn't the reason that they won the national championship. You know what I'm saying? Clyde Edwards-Helaire was not the reason LSU won the national championship. Now, if you go some years back, Alabama had Derrick Henry and some other guys that helped lead to national championships. But nowadays, the running back position is not going to be the position that takes you to the promised land, because they got chunk yards. They got 4 or 5 yards here, 6 5 yards there. But a wide receiver going vertically down the field, that's what moves the football. If Auburn is down 14 points and Tank Bigsby is the only solution, you can wrap it up. As a matter of fact, I love Tank Bigsby. I think he's a good running back. But a lot of times in the long chunk runs, he doesn't finish. He goes down at the 3-yard line. Auburn's offense gets a little conservative down in the red zone, field goal. What Auburn needs this season to be ultimately competitive is a strong passing game. And that goes totally against the grain of what Auburn culture has been accustomed to. When we look at Auburn football, the personnel group that has gotten Auburn to the proverbial promised land is the dual threat quarterback and the running back. Unfortunately, neither of those are as prevalent in the college football game now as they were then. So when you're looking at these recruiting boards and when you're looking at other things that are going to take Auburn to the next level, you need to be looking at wide receivers and offensive linemen and good quarterbacks. And also a running back that once all of that stuff gets clicking, i.e. Clyde Edwards-Helaire at LSU, the running back is the dagger in your heart. He's not the heart, he's the dagger in your heart. So yes, Tank Bigsby and the running back by committee is important. The way the game is going now, unless you're like Georgia and you have just such a good defense to where if the running game still has its place, and I'd say publicly, Alabama still has J.J. Williams in the game, in the national championship game, it would have been a wrap for Georgia too. As talented on paper as Georgia was, you bring that receiver back in the game, even without Mechie, Georgia might lose that game. They couldn't stop him. He's a receiver, though. A wide receiver. Wide receivers are the key to victory and to national championships and a pretty good defense. Georgia just so happened to have a good defense to recover in that game, and they made it happen, won their first national championship in well over 40 years. And that's just something that we have to live with now. And that's just something that Auburn fans have to live with now, that the Bo Jackson, the Carnell Williams, those days are absolutely over. The Trey Masons running for 1,800 yards and still being able to win a national championship, it's not there anymore. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this wide receiver position, in that if Auburn is going to be ultimately successful, that has to be an ultimate position on the field. I know you love Tank Bigsby. Hell, I love him too. But 1,000 yards, Auburn goes 6-7. Mediocre quarterback and wide receiver play, Auburn goes 6-7 without a chance to win anything. Quarterback play, offensive line play, at least somewhat stellar defense is what's going to get you to what you want. Now, Tank Bigsby just can't be a dud. You know, Jordan Ingram just can't be a dud. I think the running game is still important, but it's not necessarily the ultimate game changer. Like this video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.